My name's Tony Ryder. I'm an area implementation team manager for Stoke-on-Trent City Council, and basically what that means is for one of the 5 neighbourhoods of the city, I coordinate the partnership working between the community and voluntary sector, statutory agencies, whether they be within the council or the police, the health authority, or NHS Stoke as I believe it's known. Predominantly it's about size because the normal model I believe is around about 5,000 per neighbourhood in that region, and we have a city of about 250,000 people divided up into 5 neighbourhoods. So we're kind of within the realms of being 8 to 10 times the size of the typical government model. It certainly works in our area. It's never without its problems because there are historical barriers, there are barriers which will come from things have always been done that way in resistance to change. But there is a willingness to make it work, and if there's a willingness and passion, that can override a lot of these things given time and commitment. And it's not always about money. A lot of the time it's about passion, commitment, drive and enthusiasm, and harnessing the energies and efforts of the broader populace rather than just relying on the same few suspects. I think it's going to free up the facility to meet the aspirations of the local community. I'm not talking about this particular centre when I say this, but there are community centres around the city that are on the edge of the city that are more utilised by people from across neighbouring counties than they are by the local people within the city. For the simple reason that there are interest groups that fit in with the culture of the people who are running them on a limited scale in terms of the variety of activities they do. Whether that be bowling or line dancing or dance troupes or bingo. Historically, a lot of the community centres within the city have had their little pet groups, and it's not about that. They have a place within that, don't get me wrong, I'm not against bingo and I'm not against bowls and I'm not against dance troupes, but that should be part of the offer, it should be part of the mix, not the sole mix. Community asset transfer will never work without the enthusiasm of people like John. During the presentation I talked about him being Snee Green's nuclear reactor. He's a power source for invigorating the community, for making things happen, for being a catalyst for change. And yes, there are times when John will get frustrated and in nuclear reactor terms he's going critical, but that's because he cares and he wants the difference to be made and he wants to get past bureaucracy, red tape and frustrations and barriers. He wants people to come up with solutions, not, yeah, we'd love to, but. He wants to hear, we'd love to, and. Take out but and replace it with and. I think if you equated it to the chassis and wheels on a motor vehicle, you've got a good analogy. You can have the support mechanisms, which could be one wheel supporting the chassis. You can have the driving force like John to be another one. You can have the community and voluntary sector to be another one. And then you can have the support committee to the person like John as the other one. And if you start taking any one of those away, the chassis will collapse on one side and start dragging and start becoming ineffective. And I think you have to have the rounded package. It's like having a jigsaw with a piece missing. You must have all the components, and in every mix some of those components will be better than others, and sometimes you might have a slightly wobbly wheel, but the vehicle will still keep going and you've got the chance of getting it to a garage and fixing the wobbly wheel. And as long as you can get to the garage before the wobbly wheel falls off, you're okay.